Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Any folks in the back, give me a thumbs up. We're looking good back there? All right, thank you. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who asked me to do that? Okay, over here. Just waiting on a thumbs up from him. Are you? Okay, he's good. Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Yep. Anyone else need a mic check? Sure. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're welcome.
Well, just, offensively, opportunities in the red zone. You got to score touchdowns. You have an opportunity to make it a 7-point game going into the half, and that was a huge momentum. We talk about winning the middle 8, the last 4 minutes of the first half, first 4 of the second half, knowing we're getting the ball in the second half, and obviously had a nice drive, but just to come away with no points in that situation was very disappointing. But when you get in the red zone against that team, you got to score touchdowns. You know, they're very explosive offensively. You saw their space plays that killed us in the game. Going in the game, we knew they were going to complete some balls, but to limit the amount of explosive plays, and they're very elusive in space. You know, and again, it wasn't really the vertical balls down the field; it's intermediate throws and being able to, you know, make people miss in space. And some critical third downs in the game. We got 3rd and 5. We have an opportunity to get off the field. You know, right there in the second quarter, and we don't get off the field there, and a couple of just third downs. I felt like we were in good situations, but we didn't take a throwback when we should have. We did a foreign first crosser situation on a mesh route we didn't take. Just some plays that we left on the field, in my opinion. But they got a good team, and we can't make those mistakes in a game against a very, very good football team like they have. The quarterback is outstanding, and their receivers are elite. They're really good players, and they're very difficult in space, and they create a lot of space plays for them. But again, we squandered some opportunities offensively and defensively on third down and opportunities to get off the field, and that's probably the most disappointing part of the whole thing. But we moved the ball well offensively. Really proud of Ryan and the job that he did in the game. Hung in there, and again, we're going to try and score, and what we need to do improve offensively there late in the game. That's what we're going to do. We're going to keep fighting. That's who we are, and he needs to get as many snaps as he can to continue to improve, and we do offensively. So I'll open it up for any questions. Oh, hold on. I want to thank our family. It was an awesome atmosphere. We had a bunch of recruits here today, and they certainly, you know, that was a great environment, and I appreciate our fans.
Well, what was the explanation you got on the Dowdle no review before the end of that?
Once the ball's marked down on the field, there is no review. It's the same as last year in the Florida game. And our fan base is still emailing me about it. It's no review, guys. Once it's marked down, it's over. Unless, you know, that's it, period, end of sentence. There's no, you can't review it. I can't call timeout and get a review. It can't be reviewed. That's the rules.
And with some of the other red zone struggles, is it just Alabama's that good? You guys got to go back and look at some other plays, or just what are some of the answers to the struggles?
Well, we had the speed sweep with Brian there. We thought we should have blocked it at the point of attack. We let a guy go. We had the edge sealed. We had exactly what we wanted. You know, they did a nice job in some pressure situations of getting some pressure. I thought for the most part we protected the quarterback well against a really good front. 33 and 24, really good on the edges. 99's really good pushing the pocket inside. So we had a firm pocket for the most part as many times as we threw it. You know, again, we'll go back and watch, David. I can't give you a definitive answer right now, to be honest. There were some different things here and there. I know on that particular play we should have sealed the edge and not let 24 free. We got to get the play started in that situation.
I guess you talked going into this week about being a little bit aggressive and trying to get up fast. I know it didn't work at times during the game, but do you feel like it paid off being aggressive at times today?
Well, again, Colin, you go into every game, and we talk as a staff throughout the week is what do we need to do to win the game? So it's not just about going for it on fourth down just because we won't want to go for it on fourth down. It's about the situation in the game. It's the field position in the game. It's about a certain punt look or a punt safe look or a punt block look that we get in the game that we look at, and we have somebody in the box saying it's there, and it's all calculated risk on what we want to do. We felt like that the field goal fake was there. We felt like it was there after their, first field goal attempt on the hash. That was the look they were going with in the game. They don't necessarily change up their look. So we knew right then. We got the look. We got what we want. So those are all things that we talk about through the week, and they're up for us every week. Now, we may not get the right look that we want, so we're not able to call it in those situations. So it just all is about the time and the situation, and you know, what is it going to do help us win? That's really the bottom line.
You didn't feel like you came into this game feeling like you had to be any more aggressive than any other week? Is that
No, I felt like we needed to still put some possessions in the game, stay on the field offensively more because of their offense. It's a total different animal what you're trying to face. We get in the red zone, we need to score touchdowns. So, yeah, there was a different mindset than maybe we've had other weeks. But it's not the same every week because what do you need to do to win the game? And that's the way we felt going into this ball game.
At what point in the preparation did you make that decision that was going to be the approach?
This summer. Yeah.
Mentioned it with some of the tackling, especially on the Harris fourth down run. Do you feel that the emphasis on trying to strip the ball is maybe taken away
No,
from
they're really good players, and when you play against really good people, those things are going to happen.
Will, did you guys make progress today, and if so, in what particular areas were you most impressed with the progress?
Well, I've never questioned our guys' effort. I've never questioned the want to. We played the run extremely well against a team that runs the ball well. We got to do a better job in the passing game, especially as far as the space plays and some of the intermediate and underneath throws, and making some plays in space in those situations. Converting more in the red zone offensively. I mean, some of the things I talked about, but I thought we made some nice strides today. We didn't get what we wanted, and that's to win the game.
I know Ryan's performance last week kind of confirmed his competence at the position, Will, but what about his performance today might have also furthered that confirmation with regards to his play today? Well,
I think just from a gutsy standpoint of taking some shots in the pocket there against some really good players, going against a really good secondary, and throwing some tight throws. He had some balls dropped. I mean, we had some three off the top of my head that we had opportunities to, keep the chains moving. But he hung in there and did a nice job. We had to call timeout there to start the second half, which was disappointing. We had to burn a timeout there, and some communication things we've got to just continue to iron out. But it isn't all on him. It's on our entire offensive staff and our offensive players. So those are all things we'll continue to work through. But I was really proud of his effort today, and the guys around him. Shi Smith made a great catch on the touchdown catch. We had some guys make some great efforts. I thought we did a really good job in the run game as far as blocking, getting a hat on a hat in the run game, and Rico and Tavian both ran well.
What was your message to your players in the locker room?
We got a good football team. We're 1-2. We're not where we want to be. We're not where we thought we would be. But we got to continue to circle what we're doing, pull together, and get back to work tomorrow. And that's what we're going to do. And we're going to reload. We got really good leadership on this team, and that's what this team will do.
How do you think they received that message, and how do you think they feel about what they've got?
They'll receive it outstanding because of the type of young men we have in the program and the culture we have built and the leadership we have on this team.
Into the first half, the fourth down, were you going for that all the way?
Yeah, when we fumbled the snap and we bumped back to the 3, Brian and I had a very short conversation, and I felt like we needed to score a touchdown. Retrospect, looking back, you kick the field goal and you go in down 11. You got the ball starting the second half. But at the end of the day, I felt like we needed touchdowns when we were in first and goal situations going in the game. I gave Brian 4 downs.
What did you see on the fake field goal attempt with Mark, with the hold call on Mark Way, and what kind of went into that play design? How did that come up?
Well, again, we just felt like we had a good look that we liked, and that was just through a really good job by Coleman Hutzler and our really good execution on our players. Outstanding execution by our players, everyone, all 11.
Will, health-wise, just how do you come out of this game? And I guess Drake dressed today, but when do you kind of hope to get him back?
You know what? I think Colin's going to be after the bye week, just to be full speed. He's running straight ahead fine. That's not the problem. It's when he's got to change direction. It's been an issue. Brad Johnson is going to probably be after the open week as well. Other than that, I think we're fine. Those are the only two. I didn't think we had anything from today. We had a couple guys. We had a sickness go through our team this week, so we've had some guys miss some time, and we had a bunch of guys getting IVs today because of that. But other than that, we're fine.
Coach, after playing such a good first half and having that chance to put some points on the board going into the locker room, was it a challenge at all to kind of recharge the energy of those guys?
We came out and drove the ball right down the field and got in the red zone and kicked a field goal. Wish we'd gotten 7 out of that. We got to make a stop defensively there. We had to come up with something defensively to get some more momentum going in the game, and we just never could come up with that stop.
Have you noticed more of a violence in Rico's running ability over the course of the last couple of weeks?
Well, I think that all of our backs have run extremely well, and I certainly think Rico's been done a really nice job running the football. I think, in the down-around scheme, which is what we wanted to go in with this game, I thought he did a really good job of planting his foot and getting north and south and making decisive cuts to get the ball north and south against a group like that. You can't run east and west much. You've got to make decisive cuts up the field, and I thought he did that.
I know that you cannot challenge that Rico Dowdle run, but the SEC can look at that play. Any regret moving so quickly to try to get that next play off?
No, but the SEC can't. Once the ball's been called down, once the whistle's blown, guys, it's over. We can't do anything.
The SEC released a statement saying the replay official saw the right knee down, and the call could not be overturned.
That's what I just said.
But they reviewed the call and said
I know,
the knee was
but
down.
that's what they're telling me. There's nothing we could do. That's what I'm saying. I'm not, John. I'm just being. I mean, there's nothing I can do in that situation. I knew on the field what they were saying, and once the whistle blows, guys, they're not going to overturn the official call on the field. It's not going to happen on that situation.
But in theory, they could.
Yeah, but I'm just saying on the field they were telling us they're not overturning the call. There's not a whole lot we can do on that situation.
Will, up front. You mentioned before the Charleston Southern game about the need to get Brian Edwards the football. He had a career high in catches today. What does it say about his performance that he was able to do that against a team like Alabama?
Well, Brian's a really good player. I mean, we will continue to make the effort to make sure the ball's touching his hands and Shy Smith. Those are two guys that can make plays for us. Both backs have done a really nice job, and we'll continue to feature those guys moving forward, along with some other guys that I think have continued to come on and done some nice things for us. Josh Fan making some nice catches there. Again, we've got some guys that we feel like on the perimeter can play, and we've got to continue to take advantage of those guys.
Will, what did you learn about Ryan Helinski's composure today, and what's he saying to you during the game and after the game?
He's fine. I mean, he's a great competitor, and he's a battler. And you saw him in there today, hanging in there against a really good defense, taking some shots and continuing to battle and play. And that's what you want out of a guy. I don't know that I learned anything today about him. I felt he would play that way. I felt he would compete that way, and I'm real proud of his effort.
Coach, there was a moment bigger than football at the start of the third quarter when the South Carolina fan base held up the number 3 in honor of Tyler Helinski. What goes through your mind as a college football coach when you see something like that?
Well, just, I appreciate, number one, our fan base supporting the Helinski Foundation, and it's for a great cause, and talking in terms of mental health, and that's something that means an awful lot to, everyone in our organization, and how important that Coach Tanner and his administration have emphasized the mental health side of things since I've been here at South Carolina. But the support one of our players, but that's the way we do everything. Whether it's a Letterman, former Letterman, whether it's a present player, the support of our fan base and the support of our administration is unreal.
Will, how did you think the offensive and defensive lines played today?
I thought we were very good in the run game offensively. I thought we did a nice job of protecting the quarterback for throwing it 57 times, right at 60 times with 3 sacks. And then, so I thought from that standpoint against a very good front. And then I thought defensively, I think they had about 70 yards rushing. Hard to get. He does a really good job of evading in the pocket. He's got a very good pocket presence. So there was times we had pressure. There's times he did a nice job of stepping up or invading the pressure, and that's just he's very, very good at that.
What do you think of your safety play through 3 games, especially against the pass?
Well, I need to watch the tape because I didn't. We had a bunch of guys rotating in there between RJ and JT and Jam and Israel at times. So we'll continue to evaluate the tape on that.
Coach, you mentioned during the week about how important it was for you guys to be in a position to make those 4 to 6 plays that can decide a game. Looking at this game, do you feel like it was just the athleticism for Alabama that really turned the tide on some of those critical plays?
They're very good in space, and we've got to make plays in space on them. We knew that going into the game to eliminate, force them to run the football, at the end of the day. And that's what we were not able to do, to take the ball out of 13's hand and some of the skill possession guys. Thank you.
close to me.
For both of you guys, I'm sure you're both pretty excited when you see Parker running the fake touchdown. How long did it take you guys to see the flag on the play, and what was the mood right then?
I mean, it's tough, getting a big play like that called back, kind of shifts the momentum back. But, I mean, it is what it is. You can't change it.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, but it happened, so just got to keep moving on.
For both you guys, how did you think Ryan played today as far as his composure out there and some of the throws? He got hit a lot. Just how did you think he handled the situation?
Yeah, I mean, I knew we was going to get pressured a good bunch, and for the most part, I thought we did pretty well protecting him. He had a few shots we could have did better, but, I mean, he was composed. I felt great with him being back there calling the offense, and, I mean, he's good.
Same thing. I mean, he looked composed. He was calm. He does a great job of leading, and he just does a great all-around job. I'm really proud of him, honestly.
This is for both of you. I know you didn't win the game, but did you guys get better today because of the way you played Alabama and also with the effort that you put forth all day?
No more of it. I don't believe in moral victories. We lost today. I mean, I'm a competitor. I want to win. So, we lost, and that's what it is. I mean, we competed, but we lost.
Yeah, same thing. As a competitor, I mean, we're going to go out play hard, which we do, but at the end of the day, we didn't get the job done. So that's what we got to do.
Brian, at what point did you realize that Coach Muschamp and Coach McClendon were going to be so aggressive offensively?
I mean, we knew from the jump. I mean, anytime you play a team like Alabama, you're going to have to be aggressive. When you see the teams that beat them in the past, they've been aggressive. They take shots down the field, and they get explosive plays, and that's just what it is.
How do you feel about – does it make you feel differently about this team and about the way they called that game?
I mean, no. I knew we were talented, and I knew we could hit explosive plays. It was just all about going out there and executing it. And you saw that at times, and at times we didn't. So, and I feel like that was, the difference in the game.
Brian, noticed after the game you had a long embrace with Ryan. Just wanted to know what you said to him in that moment after that game.
Ryan he's a true leader. So, anytime we lose, he's going to take the blame for it. And I just told him, you did a great job out here. Your second start against, a top 5 ranked team, and just to keep your head up, and we're going to get it turned around. And that's about it.
And as a senior leader on the team, what are some of the things you're seeing in him just through his second start as he's starting to step into a leadership role?
I mean, we all see it. He's just a great leader. It's natural for him. He looks composed in the pocket. He's delivering great balls, and he's doing a great job, and I hope he keeps that up.
What does the offense have to do to be more productive in the red zone?
We just can't kill ourselves. I mean, that's it. I mean, we know what we got to do. We just can't have plays that's, negative and, kill it. So.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to the red zone, you when you play SEC games, people are going to play you man-to-man and things like that. So it just comes down to making plays. That's it all.
Yeah. Brian, you mentioned Ryan's leadership. Did he say anything at halftime? I mean, obviously, that's a disappointing way to end the first half the way it happened. Was he vocal in halftime? Because you guys come out in that third quarter and drive right back down the field.
I mean, I think we all were vocal. All the leaders of the offense kind of said something and chimed in. He was one of those. I was one of those. Donnell was one of those. So, I mean, the leaders, that's the job of the leaders to do that. And I think we did a great job coming out in the second half.
Brian, I know you say you don't take any moral victories, but you did have a career high in catches. Does that mean anything to you, or do you take anything from that?
I mean, not really. I mean, I knew I was going to get targets, and I just had to take advantage of those. And I wish we could have hit that double move, that double move down the middle of the field. But, it is what it is. But I don't really take, like I said, I don't really take, moral victories or, things like that.
And there was a sequence early in the second quarter where I think you fought hard on a 3rd and 4 for that first down. And then you had a catch on the next play for 10 yards. Can you take us through that sequence and what you were thinking when you were trying to fight for that first down?
I'm just trying to, get the first down for my team, keep moving the ball. I knew it was going to be a lot of man-to-man. It was going to be a lot of, me versus another guy, and I was going to have to make the play. And I felt like, we did a pretty good job. I did a pretty good job of that today, and I just got to continue to do that.
Donnell, how do you feel about this team after 3 games, and how important do you think the next 2 weeks are?
I mean, we're a team that's, play hard, work hard. We're just trying to get it all together, put everything together. We got sometimes when the offense is not on and the defense is, but we just got to come together and, make this thing go. And moving forward, I mean, we're going to be desperate. We're going to be hungry. We need wins, and we need to go on a good run. So, I mean, still love this team, and I got all the confidence in us, and I think we got some pretty good players to do it too. So.
How do you feel like the changes up front have gone with you moving over to center and then Jordan and
I think it's gone a whole lot smoother. I think I can control the tempo and make some of the right calls with Ryan. So I mean, and Rose when Javon's in there, they're doing pretty good. They had some mishaps today, but nothing we can't fix, and we just got to move on.
Appreciate you.
Except Ernest Jones, Rico Dowdle, closer to being.
Ernest, I know you guys like to concentrate on trying to knock the ball out. Do you feel that's maybe taken away from some of the fundamental aspects of tackling, like some of these runs where they're just breaking tackles down the sideline?
Yes, definitely. I feel like the big play that Najee had, I feel like we just trying to get the ball out, and at the end there, me not securing the tackle first, then trying to knock the ball out, kind of looks like I pushed him forward to score, which is not the the goal of trying to do what I did. But we just gotta do the technique parts first, secure the tackle, then worry about trying to get the ball out.
Rico, I know health has a lot to do with this, but what have you noticed in your own game about just the forcefulness and the ability for be able to bounce off guys with your running style over the last couple of games?
Just coming in, first of all, thanks to the O-line first. Them guys doing great up front. I think they did good all 3 games, opening up holes and things like that. But just off-season training and things like that goes into it. Just coming out and being hungry.
I guess, Ernest, you talk about getting better tackling. How does a team go about doing that, especially in season where you guys maybe aren't hitting as much as maybe you were in the preseason?
You just got to tackle in practice. We have thud periods in practice where you thud the guy up. If you're a good person at thudding a person and not bringing them to the ground, when it's time to get them to the ground, you'll do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, for both of you guys, Donnell was in here talking about over the next 2 weeks. He said this team's going to be desperate and hungry with Missouri and Kentucky coming up. Obviously, how much do you guys echo that, and what do you think of yourself at 1 and 2? And did you consider today's performance a sign of progress in some ways?
No, I don't feel. I feel like there was progress throughout the game. You could see there were high points, but it's nothing to be too glad about. We lost. They came out. They were the better team. They did some things that just kind of just beat us. I mean, it's not like a moral victory or anything. Nobody's thinking of it like that.
I mean, the goal is to progress every week. Like you said, we lost, obviously. Just got to come out next week and get better. Take it 1 week at a time. Every week is a season. That's how we look at it. And like you said, we're going to be desperate and hungry. Take it game by game. This one is in the past now.
Ernest, do you have any particular thoughts on facing that Alabama offensive line?
Thoughts on facing them?
Yes, just in general.
No, not really. I mean, they were a good size. They knew how to, position themselves in the run game, and they set up some things, made it look like it was, run, but play action type stuff. They were pretty good offensive line.
TV way in the back.
Ernest, when you guys have that many playmakers and you're trying to keep them in front of you, you get to third down. How frustrating is it when you guys can't get off the field and you have those opportunities, but they're just finding ways to cross those routes and get into space like that?
Yeah, it's definitely frustrating. You have to get off the field on third down, especially playing teams like that. Their offense is high-power offense. their goal is to score as many points as they can, and you have to stop them on third down and get the offense a chance to keep doing what they're doing and keep driving and keep trying to get in the end zone.
This is for both of you. When the coaches are doing things like calling fake field goals, fake punts, what does that do to energize the entire team when it looks like the coaches are going to do whatever they can to win this game?
It shows the will that the coaches want to have to win and the win that we want to win as players. I think on the fake field goal, we executed it very well. Obviously, scored a touchdown. I don't think it was a holding call. We got a bad holding call called on that one. But like I said, it just shows the will, the want to win.
Yeah, that's about the same thing I would say.
Rico, you seem to hit your stride in the second half. Can you talk a little bit about what happened, what made the second half different for you versus the first half?
We got more calls called in the second half. The O-line did a great job. I think the scheme, the play we was running, it was outside zone. It obviously worked very well, and the O-line did a great job of opening it up, and it kept working.
Best two players today, Javon Kinlaw, JT eBay. Let's get best questions first, because the buses roll in about 5 minutes. So let's say it to the end. John?
JT, how would you grade the play of the safeties through 3 games?
I think we played with good effort. We need to improve on our discipline and our focus on technique and alignment, but I think we played with good effort.
JT, Ernest was just in here talking about how the team needs to improve its tackling. How, I guess, now that you're not hitting as much as maybe you were in the preseason, how do you go about trying to improve that in season?
I think it all goes back to preparation and practice. We're going to prepare as good as we can, prepare full speed, take proper angles, track the ball, track the narrow hip, and do what we're coached to do.
Javon, how did you feel you played today?
Average day. Just got to get better, you know. Left a lot of plays out there, but pretty average today.
Did you feel like this was any sort of showcase for you today because you were playing a top 5 team?
Nah, approach all of them the same way, you know, but just got to play better.
For either one of you guys, how important will these next couple weeks be for you guys? Some of your other teammates are in here talking about how going to be desperate for wins. Like how will y'all kind of attack these next couple weeks in that regard?
I mean, I think I approach every game like it's the most important game, and I think our whole team does. We play Missouri Saturday, and we'll be at our best.